Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name's Ash, but you can call me Hooby, and this is The Sun and Starmaker by Rachel Griffin. This video will contain very mild spoilers. I'm talking summary, tropes, a little of the tone, stuff that most people already know before they decide to pick up a book, but I know not everyone does, so just a small warning. I myself had completely forgotten what this book was about by the time it arrived. I found out about it at Yauk, and unfortunately I didn't win a proof copy. Instead, won this gorgeous bookmark. Oohs and ahs, please. I was still massively excited for it arriving, though, as I remembered how much I wanted it back then. And oh boy, was I right to want it. This story starts with a nice explanation of the world that doesn't feel shoved in the way that it sometimes can. There is a village that fell into a mountain where the sun could neither see nor touch. In order to help out the village, the sun gave some magic to a human called the Starmaker. This human could essentially bring sunlight into most of the village and keep the frost at bay. But humans can't live forever, and although a Starmaker's life is much longer than average, their reign must end at some time. When the time comes, the sun chooses a new Starmaker and the current one must train the other. Our main character, aptly named Aurora, meets the Starmaker, who senses the magic within her and whisks her away to his castle to train her, away from her family, away from her farm, and away from her imminent wedding. Throughout this book, I kept thinking about how it was almost like a fairy tale, and not just because her name's Aurora. It was soft and sweet. There were a few bits that were reminiscent of other stories, but they were small things and multitudes of stories. It didn't feel inspired or close to any other. Not to me, at least. It had a reasonable level of predictability about it, but as I've said in previous videos, this is the sort of book where that's almost expected. It's not like it's a detective story I figured out in 10 pages. It's not a thriller. It's meant to have a comforting level of predictability, and it did. This book talks about loss a lot and very well. Aurora is mourning the loss of the life she always wanted for herself, an ordinary life with a safe love, while also coming to grip with the fact that she will outlive everyone she knows by hundreds of years. Which is the exact reason why I would never wish immortality on anyone. I imagine for some people dealing with loss, this could be very cathartic, but others could struggle. I think I might go back to it if and when I struggle with it in the future, but I don't know how I would have coped if I'd had one recently on my first read. The only trope I remember reading for this is the grumpy sunshine trope, but to me that doesn't seem to be the case. A lot of the time they're both grumpy, which given the circumstances is more than fair enough. Though one of them is sometimes pretty sunshine, especially comparatively, so I do see where people are coming from. I'll also say that the only other time I've read something with that trope attributed to it is Tusk Love, and she is extremely sunshine, so it could be more biased than anything else. I don't think I found any mistakes either, not even typing mistakes. I usually take photos whenever I find any, and I took a lot of photos while reading this book, but they're all just banger lines. As a non-spoiler example, grief is love's reflection. Beautiful. It's so funny that I was specifically not planning on doing a video, at least not a full video on this book, because I have a backlog of video ideas, but I seriously could not talk about this book. I actually read this back in February, and it's taken me so long to record this video because I wanted to make this top for it. It's the castle that can be seen on both the pin and the Barnes & Noble edition of the book, which I don't have either of them. I had a lot of problems making this, which is why it's taken so long. But going to that would be a whole video by itself, which I'm not against making, but this isn't the place for it. This was my 15th book of the year, and it's my favourite so far. Yes, the script was written a long time ago. I'm now at 20 plus books, and it's still my favourite. I 100% will be rereading this multiple times, I'm sure, so long as I can, at least. I've mentioned before about how I've been experiencing joint pain recently, and this book hurt to read. It was only the second physical book that I'd read since the pain started, and the other one was because it was part of a series I'd been reading. Despite how much it hurts, I still held on and read it within the span of 3 days, taking 374 minutes or a little under 6.25 hours. My only regret was that I had to stop reading. Once for sleep, once for dinner, once due to the pain, and finally once due to it being over. In case you can't tell, I thoroughly enjoyed this, and I'm rating it 5 stars. No notes. Well, a whole video of notes, but not the same type of notes. Oh, please let me know if you've read this or if you now plan to read this. And oh, thank you for watching. If you want to, please like and subscribe, and maybe you'll see me in the next one. Maybe you'll see me in a making of this top video. I don't know. But until then, bye.